Alright, this whole Hasan Cuba thing has been blowing up. A lot of people are talking about it. There were a couple of things about this story that are a little bit odd. Like, some people were saying that people died because the power went out in certain areas at the same time, and that, like, Hasan might have been responsible for it to some capacity. I don't know, dude. It's just, like, a little bit strange because it's like, I don't think Hasan was the one that was originally running this event. There's just, like, there's so much weird, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the problem is that, like, there's just, like, a lot of people will look at Twitter and go, oh, that's a fact on something, and I don't know. Thank God we got Internet Versus, though. Like, I trust Internet Versus as a source, so I will watch his coverage of it. We'll get down to the bottom of this whole Hasan Cuba thing. Apparently he went to Cuba to, like, run, like, propaganda for them, because, as we know, Hasan did the same thing for China. He's basically just, like, anything that's, like, West bad, basically. Israel is, like, the only Western force we have in the Middle East. And so Hasan just looks at that and go, oh, Israel bad or whatever. We obviously know Hasan doesn't give a fuck about the genocide going on. He downplays Uyghur Muslims in quote-unquote education camps dying. And he also downplays Russia invading Ukraine. He's just like, obviously, Hasan doesn't care about people dying as long as it fits his agenda.
Recently, live streamer Hasan set on a trip to Cuba, with his stated intention being to provide aid to the Cubans due to the US blockade on the country. However, after arriving,
I don't know if that's really the reason why he's going for Cuba. He's probably going just to, like, run, like, propaganda for them, but okay.
It was quickly met with controversy, where Cuba faced a massive power outage across the whole country. But one of the places left on was the high-end hotel Hasan was staying at.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it can be a sign that, like, there's a lot of negligence going on. To my understanding of it, and again, we're gonna learn more as we go through this Internet Versus video. To my understanding, it sounds to me like Hasan was attending this event ran by other people, and I guess this event, the hotel was one of the places they were having this event at. To my understanding, it seems like they ultimately, like, the blame, like, first impressions, and I guess we'll find out more as we go through, but the blame ultimately, in my opinion, goes to the Cuban government, because they could have easily shut down the event at any point, and the Cuban government isn't exactly the greatest, because, again, communism, it's a communist government, so it's not exactly sunshine and rainbows in Cuba. But if we take that aside, obviously, like, the sole blame for the people who needed it is definitely the people that are running the show. I doubt Hasan was, like, going here to, like, try to intentionally siphon resources from other people. I do think that, like, it's very stupid to not at least acknowledge that and maybe be like, oh, wait, we have power. What about all these other people that need power? I feel like at the very least Hasan could have acknowledged that or done something about it, like talk to the people that were running the place or whatever, or just, like, do something about it. I don't know, man. There's something he could have done for sure. You could definitely criticize Hasan. Like, Hasan is not, like, absent of criticism here, but I do think that, like, the bigger people that are at fault here are the people running the event and the Cuban government, of course.
Additionally, discussion sparked online about the clothes Hasan was wearing, with some parts of his outfit totaling over $1,000 each.
It's very obnoxious. I mean, yeah, it's obnoxious because he's, like, wearing, like, expensive clothes, and it could be, like, a form of flexing. I think that's a fair criticism to give, because he's, like, flexing. Cuba's a very poor country, and, like, all that money could have been spent on there. Like, if Hasan at the very least, like, wore normal clothing, it would have been fine, but he's obviously, like, intentionally doing it to flex on them,
causing people to criticize Hasan that he's going to these impoverished countries and just flexing his wealth.
Sure, yeah, I think that's a fair criticism to give him. Yeah, absolutely. It's obnoxious. It's very obnoxious behavior. Sure.
There's lots to get into, so let's just jump in. Welcome to the Internet Versus Hasan's Cuba trip. It starts when Hasan Abi Productions meme account posts a screenshot of Hasan and the Cuban flag with the caption, Hasan Piker has officially begun his humanitarian trip to Cuba, where he will help deliver over 20 tons of food, medicine, and solar equipment to those in need.
Okay, now my question is, did Hasan make do on that promise? Because the moment you promise something like that, the money that would go into these resources is no longer yours. You've already committed to a promise that that's a thing.
He will be joining other prominent figures such as Greta Thunberg, Jeremy Corbyn, and Kneecap. Cuba has been suffering from severe shortages due to the US blockade.
So again, this is the, these are the people running the event, and to my understanding, the hotel that Hasan was staying at, the 5-star hotel, mind you, was the only place that had power. That's where there's a lot of criticism towards the main runners of this event.
And Hamsters replies, suffering severe shortages because of socialism. Quote, communist policies have destroyed the Cuban economy. Cuba's GDP per capita, which is estimated to have been about 80% higher than that of its Latin American peers in 1955, is now below the regional average. Sugar production, which used to be one of the main drivers of the economy, collapsed over 8 million tons in 1989 to an estimated 200,000 in 2025.
Guys, communism is good. Clearly, communism is effective. We have yet to see a communist country actually be, like, good and not result in a fucking dictatorship and result in, like, really awful governments.
And Asanabi Productions replies, I wonder what happened in 1958. Attaching an image showing the United States embargo against Cuba started in 1958. Then Hasan does his first stream during his trip in Cuba, and some clips got posted online like this one that he'd post with the caption, Hasan explains the difference between Miami Cubans and Cubans in Cuba.
Cubans, fucking best people, okay?
Wow.
So kind, so welcoming, just the best. Just the absolute best.
Have you guys, I want to ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever heard Hasan say that people are kind and welcoming ever in any is Hasan the kind of person to ever say that about somebody? Unless he's trying to push an agenda here. Just think about that for a second. I want you guys to sit with it and marinate with that just for a moment. Just like food for thought. Like, obviously, Hasan is going here to run Cuban, like, communist propaganda. That's what he's doing, right? And, like, ultimately, that's shitty. It's gross. I mean, again, I'm kind of at a point now where nobody takes Hasan seriously. He's kind of just, like, a shitty human being. Again, I don't know if I would go as far to say that Hasan is responsible for the people dying for the power outage in Cuba. It's not like Hasan could have predicted that there was a power outage in Cuba. I still think that the people that were running the event at the hotel, more than anything, are absolutely responsible. You could criticize Hasan for being very negligent about it. I think that's a fair criticism. But I do think people, I already know people are going to be like, Hasan killed people on Twitter. Like, people on Twitter, mainly, I'm talking about, are going to be running this narrative that Hasan killed people or whatever. They're going to sensationalize the narrative. And it's just like, okay, guys, like, you actually have Hasan derangement syndrome. Like, I don't even like Hasan. You can criticize him. I actually feel like I've been giving pretty solid criticisms. And that so far, like, we've seen some pretty solid criticisms you can give him here. But, like, people are so, like, anti-Hasan brain that they'll just, like, do anything. And yet, I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of just at a point now where I just don't take Hasan seriously. No one should. Like, after he shocked his dog, like, no one should take him seriously. He's a fucking lolcow.
People. Oh, my Lord. Not in Miami? Oh, dude, it's the reversal. Actually, literally, like, the exact opposite. Like, all the good Cubans stayed here. And most of the ones that are
understandably, Hasan is not going to get good reception because I don't expect the Wi-Fi at Cuba to be particularly good.
Crazy just like flew up there. I swear to God. I had a really funny experience with that. It's like we get in the car, we get into Uber last night. Marsh and I are about to discuss that we're gonna be flying to Cuba, like talking about plans, right? And I was like, March, don't say anything. Because I noticed that the dude in the car was a Miami Cuban. I was like, don't. Like, I literally went, don't say anything. And then I just asked him. I was like, where are you from? And he's like, oh, Cuba. And I was like, okay. And I just asked him about, like, you know, what his feelings are about what's going on. March actually spat some Spanish at him. And let me tell you, okay, he said, Donald Trump needs to finish the job. That's what he said. That was the first guy. And this is like, I guess this was March's first real interaction with like a Miami Cuban. You know what I mean? This was his first ever interaction with a real Miami Cuban, like a real ass Miami Cuban, right? So he was like,
see, this is how Hasan gets to you. I want you guys to understand something. This is how Hasan gets to you. He's trying to compare Miami Cubans to like Cubans that live in Cuba. And he's trying to establish a difference by saying one Cuban person in Miami that may be a Trump supporter, that may be like a pick-me Trump supporter, is like different than a Cuba that lives in Cuba. Oh yes, because people that live under a communist government, those are the opinions we need to listen to, Hasan. interesting. Like, and like, we have to understand, this is like, Hasan is already like poisoned the well here. We have to understand, like, he's trying to he's doing the conservative tactic. A lot of people, the popular conservative tactic on Twitter is to cherry pick one example or cherry pick like any anecdotal piece of evidence and then go, oh, this is what everybody does. Hasan literally just did the conservative tactic. He took one Miami Cuban and he tried to make it seem like every single Miami Cuban is now a Trump supporter, and he's gonna know his audience is gonna look at that and go, oh my god, wow, Miami Cubans are bad, and like Cubans that live in Cuba that talk about the communist government, these are good. I don't know, this is the kind of deceptive shit that Hasan engages in.
Kind of shocked. And so March had not experienced that at all, so that was like his first ever inclination, and the guy had no family here. They were all in Miami, right? So like, you know, obviously he was the classic, like, you know, bomb it all, like God sorted out type guy. You know, they have this very weird attitude about it. On the one hand, they understand what their families' lives looked like or felt like when there was a little bit of sanctions relief, and like they could send money with ease to their families. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a strange cognitive dissonance to experience in real time. But
And Gosu Prime replies, Miami Cuban. Notice how the left are incredibly racist and ignorant if you decide to migrate somewhere because you want to leave a communist regime making the people suffer. This piece of shit is more racist than Donald Trump could ever be, by the way. Black Cat says, you may not like it, but this is what peak streaming looks like under communism.
Honestly, facts. I noticed that as well, where his like internet was going out, and I was like, yeah, the Cuban internet doesn't really seem that good.
Attaching this picture.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are some beautiful places in Cuba you could go to. I'm sure there are a lot of beautiful beaches and stuff and everything, but it's a poor country. And the unfortunate reality is that Cuba needs some uplifting. But they are under a communist regime, so it is what it is. Like, it's not like we can do much about it, but I don't know. There needs to be some serious reform in Cuba if there's any hope for a future there.
From Hasan's stream. Then Asmongold reacts to this and he tweets it out with a caption.
Oh, great. I can't wait to hear what Asmongold has to say about this. Him virtue signaling that, like, oh my god, all Cubans are bad and lower IQ. I can't wait for Asmongold to give, like, such an intelligent take on this. Wow. I'm, like, fucking coming in my pants listening to Asmongold talk because he's so based. Oh my god.
Next to Hasan comparing Miami Cubans and Cubans in Cuba.
Pull any of these other ones up too. Oh my god, here it is. The first group of far-left activists have arrived in Cuba. They're calling themselves the Youth Brigade. Well, then why is Hasan there?
Get into Uber last night. Marsh and I about to discuss that.
I mean, Hasan's there, obviously, to, like, run fucking propaganda for them, obviously. Yeah, that's what it is, yes.
We're gonna be in Cuba, like, talking about plans, right? And I was like, March, don't say anything. Because I noticed that the dude in the car was a Miami Cuban. I was like, don't. Like, I literally went, don't say anything.
So you racially profiled him. Okay.
I guess he did. I guess so.
I was like, where are you from? And he's like, oh, Cuba. And I was like, okay. And I just asked him about, like, you know, what his feelings are about what's going on. March actually spat some Spanish at him. Okay.
Yeah.
And
by the way, spat some Spanish at him. This is the person calling me out for using AAVE. This is the exact person. This is the same person. That shit made me mad. I will never forget that.
Morning we had another.
I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest with you. I have no idea what Asmongold's talking about here, so I'm not going to be able to give commentary on that.
But this guy was actually so on Trump, and he was still like, oh, the government is like everything.
Yeah, I don't keep up with the Asmongold and Hasan, the beef that they have together. I don't really keep up with it because they both suck. I fucking hate both of them.
It's bad.
I personally think Asmongold's worse just because his rhetoric is, like, worse. Like, Asmongold legitimately thinks Somali people are lower IQ. He thinks that Muslims are terrorists, and he's, like, all for being violent to other countries and violent to people who aren't even illegal immigrants, and he's, like, very, like, pro-ICE. He constantly runs defense for Trump being on the Epstein list. I think, like, no one takes Hasan seriously anymore, and he's just a fucking loser lolcow. as like people, a lot more people are taking Asmongold seriously because the narrative is dominantly conservative. And Asmongold, like, he sounds the problem I have with Asmongold is Asmongold's very good at sounding reasonable. Like, he will like talk normally and very confidently. Asmongold is very good at sounding reasonable, but when you break down some of the things he is saying, not only are they incredibly stupid, but they're incredibly dangerous as well. A lot of his rhetoric. I genuinely think because the narrative is dominantly conservative and a lot of more people are listening to Asmongold than Hasan, like that Asmongold is worse for that reason. That's one of the reasons. But also just like the general rhetoric is just a lot more violent than anything we've seen out of Hasan. Not that Hasan's never violent, but he absolutely is. But still, that's just kind of what I think.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Communism is bad.
It's crazy how the people that escape the country don't like it. I would have never expected that. I would have never expected this in a million years.
Yeah, but the problem is that Cuban is very pro-Trump. According to Hasan's retelling of it, is that they're very pro-Trump. But again, I don't expect Asmongold to say anything about that, because Asmongold is just mindlessly pro-Trump on everything. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, Trump could literally... Asmongold could watch a video of Trump jerking off in front of a bunch of baby children, and Asmongold would be like, ah, yeah! He'll, like, find a way to, like, be very pro-Trump on that. That's the kind of person Asmongold is.
Looked like, or felt like, when there was a little bit of sanctions relief, and, like, they could send money with ease to their families, you know what I mean? Like, it's just such a strange cognitive dissonance to experience in real time, but... You know, I gave a couple
all Cubans are like that. All Miami Cubans are like that.
interviews at the airport and stuff, and then we flew in.
Right. What a cool guy. So, yeah, it's see, there's the good Cubans and the bad Cubans. The good Cubans are the ones that agree with me. The bad Cubans are the ones that don't agree with me.
I find this so weird, because it's like Asmongold has a problem with people that disagree with him all the time. Like, at any time you say something that Asmongold doesn't agree, and he'll get very emotional about it. And he'll get, like, super... Like, when somebody, like, disagrees with Asmongold in his chat, like, he gets so fucking upset about it. Like, it's like, I don't know, Asmongold, like, I feel like you don't want to go down this road. Like, there are plenty of examples I can pull up.
Ah, I see. That makes a lot of sense, of course.
And Mr. Eric replies, Asmongold can't speak without commenting on what Hasan is doing, or where Hasan is, or what type of glasses Hasan is wearing, or how much the glasses are. Sad, honestly. The world is a mess.
I feel like there's so much other things you can criticize Asmongold on, and that's, like, the thing you criticize Asmongold for. I don't care that Asmongold's criticizing Hasan, quite frankly. Like, whatever. I don't care about that. The problem I have is that Asmongold, I don't really think stands for anything. I don't think he has any real beliefs on anything. He's obviously part of it is that he's grifting, and also, like, he either lies or he lies by omission on some of the things that he says. I've done, like, videos on Asmongold in the past where he's done this. He tried to run a narrative that all Muslims are every single Muslim is a terrorist just because 2 Muslims tried to attack a white supremacist rally. Obviously, arrest those people. Yes, definitely. The white supremacist rally, disgusting, but also arrest the people that tried to, like, throw the bomb at them, of course, and everything. Do what you gotta do. And then Asmongold... Like, we have to understand, Asmongold, the problem that I have with this is that, like, Asmongold is like, oh my god, so the Cubans that disagree with you are the problem. And you're trying to say that all Cubans are bad, basically. Because that's what Asmongold is trying to say here. To an extent, that is a correct criticism. The only problem is that Asmongold did the same fucking thing when the kids threw the bomb at the white supremacist rally in front of Zoran Mamdani's, like, mansion in Manhattan or whatever. And he tried to say that all Muslims are terrorists. So we obviously know Asmongold doesn't give a shit about this point. He doesn't actually care about anything. He's obviously just saying this to, like, fucking validate his audience. It's like, whatever, dude. I just don't take him seriously.
Replies, Asmongold...
And again, this person that's criticizing him finds, like, a really dumb thing to criticize Asmongold for. It's like, okay, there's so many other things you can criticize him for. And you just are like, oh, Asmongold said Hasan bad. Okay. Like, that's probably the most normal thing Asmongold has said, if anything.
How much the glasses are. Sad, honestly. The world is a mess. He also tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan talks about a beauty of Cuba and what he did after his first broadcast.
Like, last night, we ended the broadcast, and I went and linked up with the Progressive International boys. I met Jeremy Corbyn. That was fantastic. And I hung out with the Kneecap boys. We went out and drank at, like, a local establishment, and we have been we've just been living La Vida Loca honestly, we've just been living life, living large. And
So about those rations that you promised, like all the donating of the like material or whatever, like remember the very first tweet we saw at the beginning of the video? It said something along the lines of food, medicine, solar equipment, and like actually trying to like help these other people in need. Yeah. Where was that, Hasan? You know, I feel like we have gone through this video and I don't know where that is yet. It seems like you're spending a lot of time going out and drinking and enjoying yourself and living the life. Like, I don't know, Hasan. Like, are you going to do what you came here to do? Like, come on, man.
like a little bit of economic respite for each individual Cuban that we encounter. A lot of the info that you hear and see from the island is like directly coming from like most of the time like National Endowment for Democracy Foundation backed individuals, you know, State Department propaganda, things like that. But in any case, I am overcome with emotions at the beauty of this island and the beauty of the people. It's incredible. It's
Yes, people that are poor and dying and of need are so beautiful. Wow.
It's truly one of my favorite places officially. I totally understand why Will was saying that.
I wouldn't doubt Hasan wants people to die in Cuba so he can keep his grift going. That's what he did with Israel-Palestine for a while. I mean, his viewership before October 7th wasn't as high as it was during the whole Israel-Palestine grift, so I wouldn't doubt that Hasan wants people to die in Cuba so he can grift off of them.
About Cuba. It's remarkable. The people's resilience is remarkable. There's there's like rolling blackouts that take place throughout the day, every day, all around the country, right? 11 million people. But today is a beautiful day out here. It's like 75 degrees, sunny. People are partying. People are partying in the fucking streets. I don't know if it's like an island mindset. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but like they're just chilling. Like Cubans just they vibe. They chill. They just literally vibe. It don't matter. Like it's incredible.
And Radical Moderate replies, "This dude went from a flotilla to flying and now streaming in a hotel about how virtuous this trip is. Bro, you did nothing. No aid. Just you LARPing as an advocate. Pathetic."
True, fair. Yeah, I think that's a good criticism. Because, like, he's not even doing anything. He's just like, we're giving aid to Cubans. You're not doing shit. You're just fucking streaming and you're partying. Like, come on, man. Like, commit to the fucking promise. Like, what are you doing?
Tav replies to the clip by saying, "I hate Hasan, but at least he goes out and travels and tries to do things. Other streamers just sit in filth and yell at their computer about immigrants all day."
True. I mean, Asmongold does yell about that, but like Hasan's not doing any. The problem is that Hasan's not actually doing anything. He's just traveling to Cuba and partying when he said he would give aid. But sure, you can criticize Asmongold for yelling about how illegal immigrants are trying to destroy our government and property and how illegal immigrants are rapist pedophiles, despite Asmongold sweeping for rapist pedophile president that we have, so...
And Azel says, "What Hasan is doing is the equivalent of me parking my car in front of your house, sleeping in my car for a few days, and then telling the world that I understand everything about you and your entire family." Ben Eaton replies to the clip by saying, "Funny watching people try to make people out to be bad when they brought over 20 tons of aid for Cuba. Just making yourself upset for no reason." And Chanela replies, "Bringing 1 Frogan worth of food is performative."
Okay, dude, people are so fucking cringe. Like, I don't know, man. Like, obviously Frogan is cringe, but it's like the Frogan fat jokes are like so like whatever, dude. It's like, okay, I don't know, pick a fucking, be original. It's like, it's so low effort and like so cringe. It's like, I don't know, criticize Frogan for the things she says. Like, why do you gotta go after her for being fat?
He also tweets out this clip with the caption, "Destiny finds out Hasan and the Cuban..."
Dude, I hate Twitter. Can I just say, you know, like, I get that this is an internet versus video, and it's like, obviously the point is to show what people are saying about the situation. I fucking hate people on Twitter, man. People are so stupid on Twitter. People are so dumb. Like Twitter, like, we need to, I feel like so many people take Twitter way more seriously than they should. Twitter is not a reflection of the real world in any meaningful capacity, like, ever. Just, like, at all. Like, I guess maybe it kind of is because the fucking people in the world are just getting so goddamn brain rotted by this stupid fucking app, but whatever.
Government were in contact through a middleman 11 plus months ago.
"I want to go to Cuba. Would you be down?"
I fucking love Cuba.
Oh yeah, you'd be down?
Yeah, I filmed a
I think I
documentary
got,
there once.
the Cuban government actually hit my contact from the embassy and told him that if the only thing stopping us from coming to Cuba was the consistent internet access, we can make it happen.
Yeah, Cuba is.
Oh my God, bro. How is this guy? Dude, somebody clean up my U.S. politics. This motherfucker is getting help from the government of China, from the government of Cuba to go and do propaganda trips? What the fuck? Hello? Nobody writes about this. Nobody on the left media, none of the gay people or the thirsty as fuck women care to ask a single question about any of or man, I'm sorry. I didn't read the Vanity Fair article that was talking
I
about.
don't know, maybe people don't want to purity test as much. I haven't been criticizing Hasan as much, mainly just because, like, again, the narrative is dominantly right, and I genuinely think that the right is just, like, way worse right now than the left is currently with fucking Trump running our government. Like, the insane far right is running our government, just to be clear. With, like, ICE and everything, and Trump trying to distract from being a fucking predator on the Epstein list. Like, that, to me, is, like, more important than anything else. Like, right now, I've been focusing my criticism on, like, the right a lot more than Hasan, because, nobody takes Hasan seriously. He's a fucking loser, other than, like, dumb idiots in their echo chamber. Like, who cares? It's just, like, fucking dumb morons.
His big biceps. Maybe they do have some critical reporting in there?
It's just, like, not worth infighting as much. Like, obviously, like, this Hasan Cuba thing kind of came into, like, the drama limelight, so I'm like, okay, I'll cover it. It's funny, I guess, that Hasan is just, like, being a dumbass again.
Nobody gives a fuck?
Sick.
Wait,
like the government reached out to you.
So yeah, of course. It's well, not reach out to me. There's like there's a middleman there. Because I had a doctor from Cuba. Cuba does this thing called medical missions, and they've been doing it since I believe like the 70s, and it's incredibly successful.
Guys, North Korea is a great watch. Hasan is gonna like run propaganda for North Korea and be like, "Wow, guys, North Korea is amazing." Like that's gonna be his next country. Just watch. I'm calling it right now.
They have a massive, very
When was this video posted? 11 months ago.
robust, like have been sending their doctors out as like medical missions, and also generating revenue for the country this way
Because
as
they would
well.
trade.
They send the doctors
this
out.
was especially important for the relationship with Venezuela, I believed.
I can't handle that responsibility.
No, March can do both. He's got it all.
I'll go to Cuba. We've been talking about a couple trips, chat. Cuba and also China.
It's just there's limited amount of space.
Yeah,
so
Did he promote like the people organizing this or any? He must have on his stream, and I just don't get linked it because why would anybody link me that? Like you'd think he would try to get his audience to donate or something for the mission or something, right? Like what? Or I don't know. I don't know these people. It's so weird.
And Mute Map Maker replies, heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point. MAGA Cracka Mike says,
What the fuck is that name?
Destiny at least is an American commie retard.
Whoa!
Hasan is a commie foreign agent that shouldn't be here. Revoke citizenship and deport his ass. Then Ayel Yacobi independently tweets out, the only place in Cuba where currently has electricity is a 5-star hotel where Hasan Piker and Code Pink are staying. Hospitals don't even have electricity.
So Code Pink, okay, I kind of vaguely remember. Some people were telling me Code Pink is like the organizers that were running the event. Okay. This is like vaguely coming back to me. Yeah, like I said, I do think that Code Pink are definitely at fault for sure for running electricity in their places because they're the event organizers. I don't think Hasan was intentionally trying to run electricity through there or whatever, or like trying to siphon resources. It's still fucking like weird and stupid that he's like partaking in it and not at the very least calling it out and like doing what he came there to do and like give humanitarian aid to Cubans in need. Like, that's what he promised to do, but he won't do that.
These people are the world's biggest useful idiots. Then Hasan quotes him by saying, every single Zionist propagandist have laser focused their sights with lies on an aid mission to Cuba, as it was.
Oh my god, of course. Everything is Israel's fault, dude. Anytime somebody goes after Hasan, anytime somebody criticizes him, it's always Israel's fault. Hasan, like, how do people not see that Hasan is a lolcat? This is why I just don't care about Hasan anymore. Not because I like him or anything, not because I'm biased to him, because he's a fucking idiot. Who cares what he has to say? People know he's stupid. No one takes him seriously. This is why I'm criticizing Asmongold more, because his rhetoric is like just actually more dangerous because he's more believable than Hasan is. Genuinely. Like, that's why I think, like, I call him out. Like, Hasan is just like a fucking loser fuck idiot.
The stands in American blockade. Does the NCG not derive enough satisfaction from killing up Palestinian children that they now want to offer help in starving Cuban kids?
Classic using dead kids as a human shield for your argument when they have nothing to do with it. Hasan somehow managed to tie in Israel-Palestine to Cuba. Somehow he managed to do it.
He tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan explains how the American government forces him to stay in what they declare 5-star Cuban hotels. Says next time he's back, he'll try to work around those restrictions.
Yes, you should get off the internet for more than just 10 days a year, my man. No, I meant like mishaps.
That is, to be fair, that chatter was bringing up a good point. Why does Hasan have to use the internet in stream? Doesn't that also require electricity for his PC and everything? Like, if he really does care about this, why can't he do like a mobile IRL stream or something? Like, he could set up an IRL stream and like get enough electricity, but you could, I don't know, charge whatever equipment you need before you make the trip to Cuba. Like, charge it in the US and then go to Cuba and then use your charged equipment to do like an IRL stream in Cuba to be like, yeah, this is what's going on here. This is what's happening. I will conduct what's needed. And instead, you're just sitting here in your fucking room or in your hotel room or whatever.
And nuisances, like minor inconveniences, it play a very, I look at it very differently. I'm sure I'll reset back. I'll snap back to like being my spoiled self. But
you kind of already have, though.
I will say this much. So, couple things.
Bro, I'm watching this video and somehow, like, almost everybody in this video, except Internet Versus and maybe like a couple of tweets that he's shown, almost everybody just sucks talking about this situation. Everybody sucks. I hate everybody here.
Number one.
Why does everybody suck, dude?
The United States government literally has made it illegal for Americans to stay wherever they want in Cuba. Okay?
I don't think that's entirely true. I feel like they don't stop you from staying in Cuba. Like, obviously, like, if, like, there's, like, a system that America has. There's, like, a travel system where they'll mark some countries more dangerous than others. Like, Iran, for example, and Russia are, like, tier 4, which is, like, the highest danger, or, like, level 4, which is the highest, like, security risk, or the highest danger level of traveling to these countries because of the policies that they have. The U.S. is not going to stop you from traveling to these countries. But also, like, it's basically like a travel at your own risk. I don't think it's illegal to, like, stay in a hotel here. If that were true, Hasan, you would be staying here and you'd never be able to return to the U.S. ever again for the rest of your life. Say goodbye to your fucking L.A. apartments and your fucking Bugattis and shit. Cuban internet, by the way, guys. Cuban internet's really good. Look at this. Get a load of this. Amazing Cuban propaganda with Hasan. Thank you so much. It's very, very convincing. I want to go to Cuba now. To be fair, I'm sure Cuba does have some very beautiful beaches, but, like, Jesus, like, we can't ignore the, like, glaring problems it has, like, for its GDP shit.
It's a functioning industry that remains, so they're, like, actively trying to funnel resources into tourism so they can, like, bring money in. Okay? Bring money into the economy. I'm Israel high. Okay. It's good. We're good. I was saying, tourism is the lifeline for the Cuban economy as it stands currently.
Fucking Christ.
The government has very limited resources.
Oh my God, you're so annoying and he's so boring.
And the American government makes it illegal for Americans to stay wherever they want when they're in Cuba.
Again, I don't think that's true at all. Like, again, like, the U.S. doesn't stop you from traveling and staying in these countries. They just advise you. They tell you to do it at your own risk, because there's some countries are more dangerous to travel to than others. There's a whole travel guide you can look up on the U.S.
They have to stay in what they've declared as 5-star hotels, right?
This guy is just he's so full of shit. Okay, all right. I'm actually gonna look this up now because, like, again, I think he's just lying here. Okay, after reading this, like, overview, I guess technically Hasan's right. Like, I don't know, dude. It's just, like, the part that's getting to me, though, is, like, I've never heard a law designated for that. Like, again, like, the U.S. doesn't stop you from traveling to these countries. It's just more that they don't let you stay in certain places. I guess the only places that they're talking about are specifically the places that are prohibited by, like, the Cuban government or the military at Cuba or whatever, right? Like, anything. So, like, by that logic, like, Hasan could just go to, like, a normal hotel. I don't know, man. Like, whatever. He has a lot of money. He's obviously gonna fucking flex it in the most obnoxious way he can find it. But I guess technically, I guess he didn't lie there. I'm, like, almost certain that that's, like... I don't know, dude. It's just like, I've just never heard that rule before. Though, come to think of it, Hasan did make the claim that the US prevented people from going to 5-star hotels, trying to deflect from the fact that he's rich and he can afford other hotels. So that's still technically a lie, just not in the way that I originally thought.
Right? I'm telling you all this because, like, even the 5-star hotels are not like, you know, it's not like, it's what the American government has declared 5-star hotels. But regardless, in comparison to the situation on the island, it's prosperity pretty much. And
Guys, Cuba's amazing. As you can see on video, Cuba's so amazing.
experiencing that dichotomy is like definitely fucked
Cuba's top tier.
me up.
I want to go to Cuba now.
Definitely. Like, in my experience, like, the cafecito is great. Like, if I were to ever, I mean, not ever, but like, I hope to come back. And when I do, I'll probably not abide by the American restrictions.
It's a little bit odd to admit to on stream.
Seeing people survive in such conditions does make you really reconsider how spoiled you are.
Yo also tweets out the same clip, and High King Feener quotes it by saying, by the way, Hasan just
I feel like if Hasan really was considering how poor he was, or how spoiled he was, I should say. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Why doesn't he, like, why doesn't he make doing his promise then sooner than he should?
U.S. law. Oh, and he could face a $250,000 fine and up to 10 years in prison once he gets back to the States.
I'm not sure if Hasan actually broke any laws, though. I mean, I guess if he was partying, technically, it depends on the property that he went on, though. I'm not sure if he actually did.
Hey FBI, get on it. Attaching a screenshot that says the U.S. Department of State maintains a Cuba prohibited accommodations list, which bans American travelers from staying at or paying for over 400 government-owned hotels.
Government-owned hotels, keyword. We don't know if Hasan is at a government-owned hotel.
Guest
Maybe it is.
houses and resorts. And Jake White replies, he literally obeyed the law by staying at one of the U.S.-approved 5-star hotels.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just like dumb idiots on Twitter that are just like finding anything they can for Twitter likes. It's so pathetic. It's like, listen, you can criticize Hasan, but like, be fucking consistent and stop being such a weirdo.
Mike King says, no, he didn't. Attaching a screenshot that says, yes, the Grand Hotel Bristol is on the U.S. Department of State's Cuba prohibitive accommodations list. As of the updated list in 2025 and 2026, U.S. travelers are prohibited from staying at this property.
Oh, wait, is that even the name of Hasan's hotel? What the fuck?
And Money Color replies, that list was updated in July 2025. In August 2025, that hotel changed ownership and is now privately owned.
This is why you can't trust Twitter. It's like random fucking people that talk on Twitter and they'll just say like, oh yeah, this is a fact. Like, you can't trust anybody on Twitter. This is why. You get like so many people saying different shit.
And Greer says, yeah, but that still doesn't matter if the list states that it's prohibited. That it may be a legal argument to be made, but he could still be charged on those original grounds. And 8 the Thought says, if it changed hands and is no longer...
Is this 8 Thoughts? What the fuck?
owned by the government, then it cannot be charged on original grounds. And Phantom says management and administration changed, not ownership. It's still owned by the government. Hasan quotes High King by saying, yeah, the US law is fucking stupid. I didn't break it, but this post is the only one that ironically acknowledges the comical US restrictions on what US citizens are allowed to do in Cuba. The 5-star hotel is one of the few hotels the US government allows Americans to legally stay in. And Ohio Hogwatch replies, we're so free that our government regulates where we can stay in another country. And JC replies to Hasan by saying, stupid, this law exists because these hotels are owned by the Cuban dictatorship, and the money they collect from them is used to repress, incarcerate, and kill the Cuban people. Attaching the list of Cuba prohibited accommodations list and circling Grand Hotel Bristol. And ABC replies, how exactly do you know where he's staying again? You just repeated shit you saw someone else say online? If so, says a lot about you as a person. Why the hard on for attempted piling on this influencer? And JC says, someone took a pic of the hotel where they're at. The only building with electricity in the whole country, and it is, in fact, the Grand Bristol in Havana, a hotel owned by the dictator communists where USA citizens aren't allowed to stay at. Video is taken on the back of the hotel, attaching these images. Beard maxing Freddie G quote tweets High King by saying, much of the anti-Cuba posting assumes you know zero by the actual situation and rules. I know where Hasan is staying, and it isn't government owned because Hasan and the rest of us are not openly breaking US law on this trip we are publicly posting about. Over on Livestream Fail, Agnostic Scholar posts the same clip with the caption, Hasan says he is required by law to stay in 5-star hotels while on Cuba, and Sammy404 replies, God, it's fucked me up so much that I have to stay in this 5-star hotel while everyone else is suffering. Lavender Critique says, him having to justify his wealth is always so fucking funny. And Universal says, his mansion is a shelter, his Porsche is transportation, his $2,000 wardrobe might as well be a humble sack, and his designer dog he abuses was a rescue. I think you've earned the classic deflection I'm about to evaporate you with. Socialism is when no house? Owned. And Lavender Critique says, I've been reduced to ash, blowing in the wind. James tweets out, there's something supremely saddening and enraging about seeing a hospital running on bare minimum power. Thinking about dialysis patients, babies in NICU, and others tonight in Cuba. This is a blockade of death. And Tapisa replies, enough power for 5-star hotels though. Your favorite guy
Yeah, it's pretty insane that they like kept the power in that hotel specifically.
tweets, I'm in Cuba. What I'm witnessing is American imperialism murdering the Cuban people. We are nothing but rich terrorists and soulless murderers. Viva Cuba. And Tim quote tweets the post by saying, people died because you morons threw a giant party and sucked up all the electricity. Attaching this image. And Hasan replies, you are a fucking insanely indecent person and you should really think hard about why you're repeating obvious moronic lies that MAGA is spamming on the timeline. Vicious scumbag. And
Okay, why don't you say why they're lies? Why don't you talk about why they're lies then? If you're like, listen, Hasan, if you're not going to elaborate on why they're lies, why even bother responding to it?
Hannah replies to this AI image in the caption, you
Like, either don't reply to it at all or explain why it's a lie. Don't do this like weird in between.
last night while Cubans died to keep the tourist industry afloat. Hasan also tweets out, Cuban doctors told me they have to sew up patients mid-surgery when the generators run out of gas. But MAGA on here are too busy lying about the people that went out to Cuba with aid to turn everything into a distractive spectacle. Pure MAGA propaganda. You're cattle if you fall for it. An ingratiator.
I mean, yeah, there's probably going to be people on the timeline that are super bad faith, especially on Twitter, because, like, people lie on Twitter all the time. I mean, like, if you look at any information regarding Zoran Mamdani on Twitter, like, people constantly fucking spew disinformation about them because they're scared and they have a victim complex, and they think, oh my god, Zoran Mamdani is gonna fuck up New York, even though they voted for a president that's fucking up our country and is most likely a predator. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I mean, there might be some level of criticism here. I've yet to see Hasan actually engage in something that's irresponsible, causing people to die so far. I don't think I've seen enough to determine that. You could criticize him for being insensitive and, like, kind of not really making do on his promise like he is, and obviously he's there to be performative about it. So there are legitimate criticisms. I think people are finding... I don't know. I think people are reaching a little bit when it comes to, like, the dying, because I don't think there's anything explicit that shows Hasan is, like, the responsible for people dying as a result of his actions. Because making that equivalence is equivalent to me saying Asmongold celebrating the death, it caused some people to die, basically. Or that, like, Asmongold supporting Donald Trump is there, and, like, supporting Donald Trump bombing other countries and causing war crimes is enough for Asmongold to have some responsibility to not support that. You know what I mean? Like, you see how many hoops I had to jump through to say that? Like, obviously, I could criticize him for that. But you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like, keep the same energy.
Replies with this picture of Hasan looking over at Cuba from a marvelous landscape and soying out recording them. And Rob replies, why the fuck are you using up all the electricity with your raves and 5-star hotels? We already know your followers are brain dead monkeys, but anyone left after this might be actually mentally retarded.
Okay, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
And my name is might have been replied.
Not only that, it's just, like, so weird because it's like, I don't know, man. Like, people are just so fucking strange when it comes to, like, this dumb shit. I don't know, man. It's like, obviously, I'm pretty sure it's the, Code Pink or whatever were the ones that were running the event. So, like, they would be more at fault than Hasan is.
The hotel would have electricity with or without him. Cuba desperately needs money from tourism. The more you spend there, the better for the people. Only complete moron won't get that. Mayra then tweets out this video with a caption, this is a gigantic mockery of the entire Cuban people. The left visits Cuba as if it were a party at a zoo, and they go to admire the misery from a luxury hotel. It is outrageous. They are all hypocrites who have their lives sorted out and pretend to tell a Cuban that the genocidal regime is good. Attaching a video of a bunch of people on a tour bus. And Hasan quote tweets it by saying, these CIA accounts are so funny. Why did these
CIA accounts? What? Why are they CIA accounts? Oh, is Hasan, like, propagating the fucking conspiracy theory that Israel invaded the CIA? Oh my god. That's like Nick Fuentes level of fucking anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, dude. Why are you so dumb?
Will come to Cuba with aid? They should stay
Oh
home
my
in the countries
God.
that starve Cuba instead and keep demanding more of that pain from afar. And Jeremiah quotes Hasan by saying, Cuba's dictatorial regime is far more responsible for the impoverishment of the Cuban people than America is. And M. Bender says, yeah, but like, man, embargoing their oil and causing a power grid failure does seem kind of shitty and cruel. And I don't know if it makes the situation better. And Jeremiah says, I don't think the US should embargo their oil, but it's ridiculous for tankies like Hasan to go sing the praises of a violent totalitarian regime and act like they're just small beans who never hurt nobody. Cuba is poor because it's controlled by murderous communist thugs. Zaid quotes Jeremiah saying a similar thing, saying this could be true, it could not be true, but regardless, there is no point to continuing an embargo on Cuba. And Hasan replies, it's absolutely not true, Lamau. If their organization of the economy was such an issue, why has the US sought to kill it with one of the most comprehensive trade restrictions regimes for decades?
Probably because the US doesn't want to spread communist ideas or spread communist propaganda from other countries. I feel like that's generally been like a bad thing.
He also tweets out this clip and these Instagram posts by Ethan with the caption, Ethan Klein shouts out the Hasan drinking espresso clip and asks Piker to show off his hotel room. And there is this clip from Ethan on his Instagram story with the caption, you couldn't write this better, with a little sip of espresso at the end that we watched earlier, along with this post and Ethan saying, someone asked him to show us his hotel room, presidential suite in his government mandated 5-star hotel. Ethan Klein also posts on his story and Yeet captions it by saying, Ethan Klein calls out Hasan sacrificing for the people after Piker's alleged hotel was said to have power during Cuba's nationwide blackout. And it's Ethan captioning it saying, so nice to see Hasan sacrificing for the people. And it's a post saying, now, in the midst of a nationwide blackout, Pablo Iglesias' hotel and the communist flotilla of VIP guests of the dictatorship is the only point in all of Cuba with electricity at this time. The second video shows how the rest of the population lives. These images need to be seen around the world. And Demon Time replies, Ethan cut off the account that posted it because it's yet another Zionist right-winger. Hasanabi Productions meme account tweets out, Ethan Klein has now posted over 800 Instagram stories about Hasan since the beginning of 2026.
Bruh.
The two have not spoken to each other in nearly...
I don't know, this is a criticism for Ethan as well. It's like, obviously, like, yes, there's a lot you can criticize Hasan for, but like, why are so many people scared to criticize Asmongold? I don't get it. Like, Hasan going to Cuba, and Hasan is like fucking engaging in like really cringe, dumb, idiot shit. I'm not really seeing anything. I'm not really convinced that Hasan was responsible for like killing other people. I do think that he is like I think it's idiotic to fucking go to a regime and run propaganda for them and be performative about it and flex on everybody. I think that there's like a lot of criticism you can give there. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, people take Hasan so much more seriously than they should. It's like, I don't know, criticize fucking Asmongold.
A year. This was from yesterday alone, all crying about Hasan. And Hasan quotes it by saying, totally normal behavior. And Orokusaki replies, irony, with an edited picture of Hasan looking at a photo of Asmongold admiring it.
No, Asmongold is literally just right-wing Hasan. Like, new coat of paint and everything. Like, Asmongold is that's all Asmongold is. He's just right-wing Hasan.
Gato Fumador also posts the Instagram stories by
I fucking hate Gato Fumador as well. He's another Hasan cum guzzler.
Ethan and captions him by saying, holy Christ. These are all melting down over people delivering aid to Cuba. And
Hasan's not even delivering. Hasan hasn't even delivered any aid to Cuba. Show me aid that he has delivered to Cuba.
Lies. He loves his...
Why does everybody suck in this city? Dude, if there's one thing I've learned about this Hasan fucking slot crisis, see what I did there? You know, a little reference to Cuban Missile Crisis there. This fucking Hasan Cuba slop crisis. If there's one thing I've noticed, so many people suck in this situation. Everybody sucks. I don't know, man. Like, why is everybody so terrible when it comes to covering this shit?
Starving innocent.
The only person that's cool in this situation is Internet Versus at this point. That's really it.
Cyberboy tweets out, average annual salary in Cuba, $156 USD. Hasan Piker's Cartier glasses, $1,380 USD. It would take the average Cuban 9 years to purchase Hasan Piker's glasses.
Whoa.
And Satani replies, oh heck yeah, I love being able to pull this out again, with the meme of a disgruntled person saying, we should improve society somewhat, and someone coming out of a well saying, yet you participate in society. I'm curious. I'm very intelligent. And Zeke replies, participating in society is buying 1.3k glasses and staying in 5-star hotels, with the edited image of the meme with what appears to be a rich king saying, we should improve society somewhat.
Kind of looks like Hasan though. Did they intentionally try to make it look like Hasan?
And the disgruntled person says, perhaps you could allocate some of your abundant resources towards improving it. And the king replies with the original meme. Oolong replies to the original glasses post by saying, suddenly conservatives are against people making money and spending money.
That's such a good point. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god. I mean, obviously, like, shouldn't fucking, like, there's still, you still should criticize, like, the way Cuban's regime is set up because it's fucking terrible and people are suffering there. But it's so funny that, like, conservatives and MAGA people on Twitter flip-flop whenever it's convenient for them. They tend to do that a lot. Like, with Alex Preddy, that's another example. Like, everybody is so pro-Second Amendment, but suddenly, like, they are now against the Second Amendment when somebody brings a gun in, like, an ICE rally or whatever, or, like, a fucking ICE protest or whatever, and he's not even, like, an active threat to anybody there. Suddenly, exercising your Second Amendment right there is a instant death penalty, according to conservatives there. So they flip-flop their values based on whatever's convenient.
And Mouse Chong talks about the salary by saying, and that's only if they don't spend any money on food or anything.
Yeah, and to be fair, Hasan hasn't actually, I haven't seen Hasan actually provide aid or anything. He went to Cuba and partied and, like, just did propaganda for them. That's literally it.
Chioma says, I don't understand. Only poor people can support Cuba? That's the point MAGA is trying to make? And Jorge says, this isn't MAGA. We on the left do not have to be as dogmatic as MAGA. We can call out weirdness. It is objectively a bad look to wear literally Cartier glasses on your way to a less fortunate country to donate.
Sure, okay. Again, Hasan flexing his, like, expensive wear in Cuba is cringe. Yeah, sure, I agree.
Actually, it's
very stupid and gross thing to do.
Good also then tweets out of these various pictures of Hasan in Cuba with the captions Havana Day 2, and we have Hasan here, and then just other pictures of Cuba. And then Cyberboy also quotes this post with a picture of Hasan's shirt and the caption, Hasan's $690 button-down shirt alone can feed a family of 4 in Cuba for about a year. And Bitar Barbara says, you didn't look at his Cartier ring. And Cyberboy says, $1,480 Cartier Clow ring. Beard Maxing Freddie G then quote tweets Cyber by saying, damn, he should go to Cuba and give them money. And Ants replies, he brought a little aid and partied all night in a hotel while the city was without power. Awesome. He also flaunted his wealth in front of the impoverished, which was insanely based. Why does it matter if his outfit and jewelry could have fed 50 families? He's cool. And Soggs Off replies, did you donate any relief? No, you didn't, because you don't give a fuck. Ethan Klein then also tweets out various Instagram stories about all this, and Yeet compiles it with a caption, Ethan Klein drops a series of stories calling out Hasan and the Cuba influencer flotilla attendees. And first we have this post where Ethan is saying, I applaud this man's bravery. He flew from LA to Miami first class, endured a 30-minute flight on coach, stayed one night in a 5-star hotel, made tens of thousands of dollars streaming the whole ordeal, and was back in time for March Madness. Truly a socialist icon.
He made it back without providing any aid to Cuba, like he promised he would. Wow. What a great guy.
A picture of the glasses in the caption, did you know he once considered going to Gaza? Then more posts where Ethan says, these dumb MF went to Cuba to throw a rave for themselves with the last drops of oil on the island. And another post saying, a bouncy castle slides for Cuba. And another one saying, don't worry everyone, they painted a mural. With a post by Chris Smalls saying, today it was an honor to be a part of the mural painting. And finally another post by Ethan saying, yo, the dichotomy really fucked me up. Sips from tiny espresso cup. Hasan walked briskly back to the 5-star hotel knowing that room service stopped at 8 p.m. There was a filet mignon he was eyeing that would go a long way towards his daily goal of 300 grams of protein.
Okay, okay, Ethan. Bro, it's just like, I don't know, Ethan is so goddamn petty. It's like so fucking, like, when I listen to it, he's just like, okay.
Hasan then tweets out, didn't have much internet for the last 2 days, and I couldn't check the insane narrative spin on this website.
Oh, stop it. Yes, you did. You literally were tweeting while you were there. We saw it in the video. Oh, stop it.
What a nightmare. How do people live like this? They just sit around and justify the US government torment against smaller countries to feel powerful.
Yeah, and you sit around justifying regimes in other countries and fucking quote-unquote education camps, which we know are death camps. Like, you did the same thing with Uyghur Muslims in China.
The weakest-minded insects. Tim says, you could have simply sent the aid and left your ego out of the equation. You and your group of content creators did not need to go there and be a strain on the local electrical system, as well as fuel and water systems. The audacity to say to call this a spin is insane, even for you. And Palki says, the accounts that are listing off your outfits are honestly comedic. Your glasses, shirt, ring. If socialist, why clothes?
Whoa. That's a Hasan thirster right there. Why clothes, Hasan? Yeah, Hasan, take off your fucking clothes. Let's see you naked. Come on, dude. Let's see you right now. Come on.
Destiny quotes its Palki by saying, wears $10,000 outfits in a place where annual wages are less than 500 USD, gets criticized. So socialism is when no clothes. The Surfs tweets out, rich celebrities delivering solar panels and supplies to Cuba is completely performative, unlike my revolutionary practice of complaining about it online.
I mean, like, honestly, like, I didn't even see Hasan donate any aid there anyways. He just went there to go on vacation and, like, fucking party there and shit. That's all he did. He didn't even, like, do what he promised he was gonna do. That, to me, that's the biggest problem that I have with it, is the fact that he didn't fucking deliver on his promise. We haven't even seen him deliver on his promise at all. Like, the whole thing is just performative and he's running propaganda. That, to me, is the biggest problem that I have with Hasan going to Cuba more than anything.
Llama Todd tweets out this image with the caption, I think I've solved Cuba's power crisis, showing a Kaya meme where there's a large plug attached to Kaya and
Okay. Okay.
going directly to Cuba. Noah Brown tweets out, the one time Hasan goes somewhere with no electricity, he leaves his dog at home.
True. Honestly, he should have brought Kaya over.
Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko, Sal Soud, Coldest Bandito, Captain Crash Out,
Papa Gut. Hey.
Gut, Dear Boy, and the Noobster. Thank you guys.
Internet versus. What are we doing? Edit the photo. He's over 100,000 subscribers. Edit the photo. Come on now.
So much for the support, and I'll see you on the next episode.
I don't know, man. Why can't people be normal and talk about shit? Like, everybody sucks. Like, be normal, man. Like, Hasan's like a fucking cringe lord. Like, whatever. Okay, he went to Cuba. He's a cringe lord. And he, like, obviously, like, the stealing the electricity from innocent people and causing them to die. Like, that's mainly a fault of Code Pink, and that's not right. And obviously, Hasan is definitely a contributor of that. And he's doing the whole thing performatively and flexing on poor Cubans, and obviously it's just, like, cringe and shitty, obviously. It's, like, gross. Of course people are gonna lie about it on Twitter, but what are you gonna do?